Braden Smith, now a member of his hometown Indiana Pacers. Just kind of crazy to think about. The hometown kid gets to stay local. We're going to talk about a little bit of a clip here from the general manager of the Pacers, Chad Buchanan. There's obviously a relationship there between he and the Smith family. So I'm going to play the clip for you from Mr. Buchanan. Hopefully this comes through okay, but we'll break down the whole clip either way. So bear with us.
I want to separate. I know the story out there is, my relationship with the family, but this was a group decision, and our job is to bring in players that can help our culture, help our team. It's not where they're from or who knows them. I mean, the reality of our business is we have lots of relationships with people that are in the draft. They're coaches, they have sons, whatever, and so this isn't the first player I've had a relationship with that we've been part of the draft, and it won't be the last, I'm sure. And we have other people in our building that are in the same boat. The fact that he is a local player, a Purdue player is, I know it's a story, but that's not the reason why we drafted Braden Smith. I mean, we believe in him as a player. Our whole group does. And, it's a group decision. It's not my decision. One of the strengths I think of our group is we really listen to each other. We collaborate, we argue, we come together and make a decision. We're united on it. And that was, the same process here was involved as any other process, whether it be a trade, a free agent, or a draft pick. I want
All right, Dion. So you heard it there. Chad Buchanan says it's not the fact that I'm, a friend of the family or that he's an Indiana guy or a Purdue guy. We drafted him because our team believed he was the best guy for us, and it was a group decision. Do we fully buy that?
I'm gonna read off some names for you.
Okay. So,
Let's see. Let me find something first. Jack Hale, Dylan Mitchell, Takeaway, Jacoby Gillespie. Those are the four people after that were taken after Braden Smith. So yeah, I do believe it. I do believe Braden Smith was best player available. Not just at 38. I would scroll up even farther. Bruce Thornton was drafted 31 to be the backup point guard for the Rockets, a team that doesn't even really have a point guard minus Fred. I think Braden. I mean, Braden's PG1 to me. So like. Yeah, I agree with what he's saying. I think the struggle with the perception of what's going on is I can see how you get to that point if you
sure.
don't know much about Braden. Um, Pacers only had one draft pick this year. They traded the fifth overall pick for Zubac.
Oof, tough.
A lot of bad looks at the moment for a Pacers team that's basically like what the front office is just banking on is, well, Halliburton's on his way back. But there's like a lot of bad looks at the moment. Giannis just got traded, which makes Miles Turner expendable. You
Mhm.
missed, yeah, they didn't re-sign Miles Turner over like $5 million dollars across like 4 years. It wasn't like a high number that they were off the Bucks offer with. Um, and then, like I said, he traded the fifth overall pick for Zubac, man. Like, no one, obviously, at the moment, at the time of the trade, you didn't think it was going to drop to five, but you look crazy for not making that a top six protected pick now because you had no ability to drop to six, I believe. So the perception is, well, you took Braden because it makes the fan base happy, and it does. Unfortunately, like I see why people are like connecting those dots. I don't necessarily think it's true, but they also took a position that isn't a position in need. Like the dots
Yeah.
connect very easily to that, but I don't think it's true though.
Yeah, I don't think it hurts. What I kind of think the only thing that proximity really helped is this is probably just a dude they saw a lot. And it just so happened he played well in their building. So we said it in an episode earlier in the week. Like he went out to Bainbridge and balled out a bunch of times. So when a guy looks that good in your building and you're a GM, that probably sticks with you too. And when you know someone going back that far, you do know the character, you do know the work ethic, you do know all those kinds of things. Realistically, uh, with this second round too, just knowing guys are going to compete and play hard and be competitive, you get all those things from Braden. So I think there are some non-basketball factors, but I don't think this is like Indiana friend and family nepotism either. Like it just so happens that like the overall complete picture with context made him make sense for them. And so that doesn't really bother me one way or the other. And I think if you look at the way they use Tyrese Halliburton to run offense for them, and even TJ McConnell, like there is a lot of like next level vision and playmaking needed from their guard position. So not everybody can do this. It can't be just a
Right.
scoring point guard comes in. Braden can do that. We'll see if he can do it at a high enough level to like really carve out a role in the NBA and with this team specifically. But like on paper, he brings some of those special playmaking qualities that that they seem to prioritize in guard. So it fits on court, it fits off court. It just kind of became a no-brainer for them. So I get it either way.
Yeah, I get it too. I mean, like you said, I don't think it hurts that he went to Purdue and is from Indiana by any
Yeah,
means. And
sure.
I do think the Pacers could use a little PR as a front office with their fan
Absolutely.
base right now, to say the least. Because maybe you traded Keen Wagler
Hmm.
and Ben Mathurin for Ivica Zubac. And to be quite frank, Ben Mathurin for Zubac was like up in the air iffy to me in the first place. Like,
Yeah.
and then but it was fine because it was like, well, they're gonna pick top three, top four, and they're gonna get another wing. So like, who cares, right? Like,
Hmm.
you're leaving with Darren, AJ, or Cam, or maybe Caleb. Not a big deal because like you're gonna be fine. You're t pairing a star with Halliburton.
Sure.
Well, you didn't. So now, now Ben Mathurin for Zubac, which looked iffy in the first place, now looks really, really, really bad. And honestly, one of the worst trades in NBA history. Depending on what Keaton does, of course. But even before Keaton plays, I think like it's worse than the Luka trade to me at the moment. So they need a little PR. I get why the dots are connecting. I just don't believe it, but I do get why the dots are connecting on this one.
The other piece of this too is they get Tyrese Halliburton back. Last year was a tank. They do not want to be bad. Like this is not a total rebuild team with the flattened lottery odds. They are incentivized to go all in to winning basketball games again next year. And especially with how bad that trade looks with the new lottery odds, like that was their year to capitalize on being bad. They didn't do it. Whereas, like, even if they had done that protection with next year's pick, it wouldn't probably age as poorly given the different odds. But Braden is a guy that is a 4-year college basketball player. He can come in and do the things he can do on a basketball court day one. So if they want to get back to competitive, having a point guard that's not a project, I think makes sense. Like, you still got to get stronger and add all those things that almost all rookies will, but he's a grown man by all accounts. So like I think that fits in with them trying to be competitive like right away.
Yeah, I mean, I do think he fits. They do have TJ McConnell still, so
Sure.
that's part of the dot connecting process, I'd say, right? Where Braden's very much so a point guard. He's not a
Yep.
guy you're going to play on the wing. Halliburton's not a guy you're going to play on the wing either, even though he has the size.
Sure.
So, how many of the 48 minutes is just going to be Halliburton McConnell? 48,
Yep.
probably, right? Like,
Hmm.
maybe 45 of the four. Like,
Sure.
it's not going to be a ton unless McConnell is shipped off or Braden flat out beats him out as a rookie, which is definitely possible. Like, I think the TJ McConnell career arc is very in play for Braden Smith. Like, there's a lot of similarities there that I think could make him one of the best backup point guards in the league. But when we talk about that dot connecting portion,
Hmm.
it's largely because what's the role?
Yep.
Where is he at in the rotation? He seems like a guy that's gonna have a good G League stint this year as he develops. And there's nothing wrong with that, but when
Right.
we're talking about like the reason the GM has to answer these questions, it does add up to me. I don't believe it because of who Braden is.
Right.
But if you do not know who Braden is, I see why the GM would have to answer questions like this.
Only reason that I think he may get more minutes than maybe we're thinking about is the injury Halliburton's coming off of. Are they going to be extra cautious with him? Does he sit on second nights of back-to-backs, at least early in
Sure.
the season? Something like that. So having taking a 19-year-old point guard in the second round or wherever, like that becomes speculative if you need that guy to play minutes. So I'm with you. He probably gets plenty of G run this year, but someone that can be a backup point guard for them when they need him to, I think will be really nice. And, Nemhard will run the one some for them. And then you have like he and TJ can play some together. But this is also
Oh, I
nice
hope they
for,
don't play together.
oh no, TJ and Nemhard, I mean.
Oh, I thought you said I thought you meant TJ and Braden can
No,
play
no, no,
together, and
no,
I
no.
was
I,
like,
I, I meant TJ can play some next to Nemhard on the nights Halliburton's out,
I got
and
you.
then maybe Braden comes in as the backup there, if you need it. But
I was about to say, Matt, I know you're a Wizards fan, but like
no, I mean
we
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 did
can't
start
be ruining other teams on purpose. Like y'all can go pound for pound with anybody now. We don't.
we did start Howell Neto as our small forward in the playoffs one year at 6'1". So I've seen worse, but no, I would not be trying to do that. I think the nice thing though, where you were going on the McConnell career arc too, is like Yeah, they're not the same player, but they have to overcome some of the same questions. And TJ has figured it out and he's made it work. So as like a mentor for Braden, I actually think it's really smart of like go get a guy who has had to figure out how to work around some of those same limitations. And I don't know. This pick just makes sense. I don't. Yeah, he's local, but like for all the reasons we talked about. So I don't know. Let us know in the comments, guys, what you think about this one, and if you're excited for the Braden Smith Indiana Pacers experience. And we'll be back to cover more Braden, I'm sure, on the channel, but definitely more Purdue here as we go.